Leonardo da Vinci was an absolute polymath, excelling in fields from art to science to engineering. But what's most interesting about him is that he didn't just wake up one day with all this knowledge. No, he built his way into becoming a polymath by mastering certain skills first. And then with those skills, he was able to go on to master many other skills later. Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, Galileo Galilei, Nikola Tesla, and many others are prime examples of this as well. But it turns out that these guys weren't some sort of special mutant that could just learn anything easily. They had a system. They had a blueprint. They had a way of learning how to learn. And in this video, we're going to discuss that so that you can become a modern polymath yourself. If you want to master 2, 3, or even 5 different skills, you need a system to be able to do that. Otherwise, you'll burn out really fast because you're spreading yourself too thin. A lot of people think that polymaths are these mythical creatures who are born once in a millennium and that we're just not lucky enough to be born with their genes. But that's not true at all. You can teach yourself how to be a polymath if you're willing to put in the work. It's like programming a computer or setting up a business for the first time. There are steps that you have to take to set things up correctly so that everything runs smoothly and you get the results you're looking for. So here's the path that you should take to be able to master multiple skills. The very first thing you need to do is choose your anchor. Choose one skill or one area of study that you're going to dedicate the most time to. This is your anchor. Think of it like an aircraft carrier. It's big, it's strong, and it's the centerpiece of the operation. Everything else revolves around it. For me, my anchor is making money in the stock market. So I've spent the last 8 years reading books, taking courses, and talking to experts in the field. I've probably consumed hundreds of thousands of words of material on this topic, and I'm still not a master at it yet. But because I've dedicated so much time and energy to this skill, I'm getting closer every single day. And when I eventually reach mastery, I know that I'll be able to use that skill to open up doors to new opportunities that I never would have had otherwise. Now, for me, I've been fortunate enough to find a mentor who has been guiding me on this journey. His name is Timothy. He's 76 years old, and he's been investing in the stock market since he was 19 years old. In the 60s, he used to physically go to the stock exchange and trade there in person. He's seen more market cycles than most people ever will in their lifetime. But what I'm doing now is replicating what he did back in the 60s, but in the modern age. Back then, he would look through newspapers to find companies that were undervalued so he could invest in them. And today, I just use advanced software that does the heavy lifting for me. Now, because I've been studying under him for the last 3 years, I'm starting to develop my own style of investing based off of my personality and interests. And when I eventually become good enough at this, I can potentially hire other people to help me find investments and manage my portfolio, which will allow me to scale up my investing a lot faster. For you, your anchor doesn't have to be something that makes you money. It could be something completely different like medicine, law, aerospace engineering, but it's important that you understand that whatever you choose, don't treat it as a hobby. You want to dive deep. If you're going to pick something, you might as well go all the way. Imagine being a recreational basketball player. Sure, you might be better than most people, but you'll never play in the NBA unless you put in the reps. Same thing applies here. Don't fall into the trap of always picking up a new book or course without finishing the previous one. When I see people doing that, I instantly lose a lot of respect for them because they're not treating their craft as a serious business. You have to finish the course and actually implement what you've learned. Don't just consume information for the sake of consuming information. When you're done with your anchor, you're finally ready to move on to step 2, which is finding your hooks. A hook is a skill that branches off from your anchor that you can use to increase the value of your anchor. For example, speaking and writing are 2 hooks that can help you make more money in the stock market. Why? Because the better you are at communicating your investment thesis to other people, the more likely they are to follow you and trust you with their money. That means you can make a lot more money in the stock market, but also in any other field that you choose. If you're good at writing, you can get your ideas out there and build an audience. If you're good at speaking, you can command attention and persuade people to see things from your point of view. The reason why I mention these 2 hooks specifically is because I've been developing them for quite a while now. They're challenging, but they're super important for your overall development as a polymath. Writing helps me refine my thoughts and articulate them clearly. Speaking helps me connect with people and inspire them to take action. But again, these hooks aren't universal. They only work if they're attached to a strong anchor. If you didn't have a solid understanding of the stock market and you try to write or speak about it, no one's going to take you seriously. It's like trying to hang a picture on the wall without putting in a nail. It's just not going to work. But having hooks also gives you a sense of direction. A lot of people get lost in the weeds of learning and they never see the bigger picture. But when you have hooks, you can see how everything fits together and it gives you a sense of purpose. You're not just learning for the sake of learning, you're learning to achieve a specific outcome. In my case, I want to use my hooks to amplify the message of my anchor. I want to share my knowledge with as many people as possible and help them improve their own lives. And once you have a few hooks developed, you can move on to step 3, which is finding your satellites. These are smaller skills that support your anchor and your hooks. For example, reading is a satellite skill that supports both my anchor and my hooks. The more I read, the better I am at both investing and communicating about investing. Exercise is another satellite skill that supports my overall health and well-being. A lot of people underestimate the importance of exercise. They think it's just about staying fit and looking good, but it's so much more than that. Exercise improves your mental clarity, focus, and discipline. It helps you push through challenges and achieve your goals. A lot of successful people attribute their success to their exercise habits. For example, Winston Churchill exercised every day. He believed that exercise was essential for maintaining both physical and mental toughness. Even if you can't commit to exercising every day, just committing to exercising a few times per week can make a huge difference in your life. Another satellite skill that I practice regularly is meditation. I meditate for 20 minutes every morning, and it really helps me set the tone for the day. Meditation improves your ability to concentrate and focus on the task at hand. It also helps you manage stress and anxiety, which is especially important when you're pursuing multiple skills at once. You have to be able to stay calm and focused despite the chaos that's happening around you. One of the most underrated satellite skills is networking. If you want to succeed in any field, you need to be able to connect with other people and build relationships. Networking can open doors to new opportunities that you would never have found on your own. I personally have met some amazing people through networking, and I've learned so much from them. You should also try to automate some of your satellite skills. For example, I use tools like Notion and Evernote to help me organize my thoughts and ideas. I also use a productivity system to help me manage my time and prioritize tasks. Technology can be a great tool for automating routine tasks and freeing up your time for more important pursuits. So to summarize, the first step is to choose your anchor, which is the skill or field that you want to specialize in. The second step is to identify your hooks, which are the skills that you can use to enhance your anchor. The third step is to find your satellites, which are the smaller skills that support your anchor and hooks. By following this approach and using a structured system, you'll be able to master multiple skills and become a modern polymath. Remember that this process takes time and effort, but the rewards are definitely worth it. Before you go, please smash that subscribe button and let me know in the comments below what skill you're planning to master next. Thank you for watching, and until next time.